was just an aside, something I've noticed. We are live, everyone. YouTube and Facebook, Twitter, fanbase. This morning we'll do a quick Q&A. And while I give you time to drop your questions in the chat if you have them, I was beginning to mention to people about polarity. When something polarizes you, it takes your energy right there and then. It's almost like what's the word? If you see a maple tree, you just tap it, and the sap will begin to flow from the tree into the bucket. That's what happens when we allow ourselves to become polarized. Which means what exactly to be polarized? Oh my God, did you hear about Jay-Z at the Grammys and what he said? Now, whether or not some people like Jay-Z or they don't like Jay-Z, they're in that space. And the fact that you share about them, you've been polarized. Allegedly now, King Charles has cancer. Allegedly. Listen, I'm just telling you what's in the headlines. And some people like the monarchy and some people vehemently oppose them. Either way you look at it, you've been polarized. The minute you go and you participate and you say, and you give your opinion, that person who you've just given your opinion to now knows something about you. They know something about you. And if they're keen, they know how to use it. They know how to use it. They know how to use it against you. But if you practice the law, you can observe polarity as it is happening, but you do not have to participate, because you will recognize that people are taking your energy in little bits. And then the more energy you give, you see, you end up giving it so much throughout the day, we don't even recognize why sometimes we're so exhausted. Pay attention for that. Truly pay attention for it. Because what it does, remember, we're supposed to be remaining faithful to a state, the state of the wish fulfilled. We're supposed to be staying faithful to that. But how do we remain faithful when we allow salacious things to, divert the attention, right? How do we remain faithful when we allow that to happen to ourselves? That's what I'm trying to say. We allow ourselves to be pulled into so many other directions that we don't notice. A little bit is gone here, a little bit is gone there. Do you see it? So then, if I say to you, remember to keep your eyes where they should be, remember to keep your thoughts where they should be. I say that to you, I hear, but that's so hard. Now, learn how to polarize yourself. Let me say that to you again. Learn how to polarize yourself, which means learn how to stimulate yourself, to put yourself in the right direction. Create your own salacious topic. What would it be like if I were the man or the woman I wanted to be? Now, how can you make that salacious? This is what I'm trying to tell you. We've got to do it to and for ourselves and not allow it to be done to us. Oh, but Angela, won't that make a boring life? No, not at all. Not in the least bit. You can self-stimulate? How is that boring? Hmm? No, darlings. It isn't. I'm not saying to you, you don't ever have to go anywhere and go out and do anything and mingle with people. That's not what I'm saying. Of course you can go and do those things. But we are always asking, how do I guard my mind? You guard it by being the one to put your own things in it. That is what you do. Hmm? That's what you do. Does this make sense to us this morning? Sonia. Does it make sense this morning to us that it is in our best interest that we be the ones, not only just to capture thoughts, but to initiate them? Don't just capture your thoughts, initiate them, right? Think about it. If I can catch you hmm, with something that says, well, come quick, I'll show you how to make $1,000,000 right here, right now. Come here, I'll show you how to get the man or the woman of your dreams right now. See, if you come from a place of lacking, right? If you come from a place of lacking, you're going to be in a state of desperation. And if you are in a state of desperation, depending on the way you respond to the thing I just said, now I know what to do with you. Now I know how to bend you to my will. That's what's happening in the world around about us. You can see it just as clear as I can. I say, Donald Trump, you've got something to tell me. I say, Joe Biden, you've got something to tell me. Well, I can't stand this, blah, blah, blah. I say, black on black crime, you've got something to say. I say, white supremacy, you've got something to say. See how it stirs us up on a daily basis? But if I say to you, you can change your life by doing these simple things every day. People don't care. Hmm? Do you see the difference between the two things? One of them moves you to act because you've been polarized. So the key today, my beautiful friends, is to learn to self-polarize, which means what is it that you love to do? Lean on it hard, because now you're the one self-polarizing. This is why when Neville Goddard says to you, the thing that you want to become, or the thing that you are becoming, has to hold your attention. There was just recently here where fast food restaurants, I think the city decided that, you know how when you go to the grocery store, they ask you if you want paper or plastic. And if you go to a fast food place, they ask you, you want fries with that? Well, allegedly, what they were doing now is they would fine the fast food company if they did not ask you if you wanted a bag. Now imagine you're going to the fast food place, your fries, your pie, your burger, and they're going to give you all of that just in your hands, one piece at a time, no bag. Let me tell you something. It made front page news in the city. It made front page news in the city. But you see, when they had the convoys, yes, the Canadian convoys, and the Prime Minister froze everybody's accounts who participated in the convoys, took all their Bitcoin. Did anybody say anything? No. Only the people that it affected. And when they saw what could happen potentially to every other Canadian, they were the ones who said something. But it did not strike nationwide. Why not? Why not? But the thought of getting my fries and my burger not in a bag, and if they didn't offer me a bag, they would be fined. That did something that moved people. Do you see now how you can manipulate both sides? Do you now see what type of people you're dealing with? Now you know how to stimulate them. This is what we allow to happen to ourselves. We allow it. And normally we allow it from a place of fear. Repercussions. It's very interesting to observe what is happening. And I remember that Neville Goddard lecture where he says we always try to build different societies and do different things. But we don't seek first to look within and change the inner man. Changing the inner man changes the exterior that you come into contact with. But we don't look to do that, do we? No. So today, take your time. Pay attention to what's going on round about you, and then decide, is it worthy of having your energy? That's the first step. The second step is, ooh, that's really big. What can I do to make a change? Same thing we always do. You get inside of your imagination. How do you want it to turn out? What do you want? That is what you do. Whether you think that thing is really big or really small is irrelevant. The process still applies. Get in your imagination. How do you want it to turn out? Well then, what would you be looking at? And when you look at it, to make you say, oh snap, that's exactly what I wanted. That's exactly what I did. Ah, because you've got to see the evidence for yourself. So what would that thing be that you would look at? What would that thing be that you would hear? Then begin to see it and hear it in your mind's eye. And see it over and over and over. Hear it over and over and over until it becomes so real to you that the only other thing to do naturally is to move in the exterior. For all things, great and small. It's not that the thing is great or small, it's that how did it polarize you? That's what you're looking at. Does this make sense to you this morning? In the chat. Self-polarization. Yes, Marquise. Self-polarization. We have got to be able to move our own selves. This is why it is called inspiration. Because it's you doing it. You will never run out of energy when you inspire yourself. But if you continually seek motivation, it has to come from outside of you. It's not yours. So that means your motivation now will depend upon polarity. Can someone move you enough that you will act? Quite tiresome, actually. Because now you're not steady. You're being pulled this way and the next. Oh, this thing moves you, that thing moves you. No. Inspire yourself. We inspire ourselves when we love what we are, what we do. We love what we want to become. That's what inspires you. That's what will move, self polarize you. And it will infuse you with power and strength on a daily basis. So, how do you practice it? Well, what do you want? The thing that you want to become has to fire you up. It can't just be, well, I can live with it or without it. I don't care. Well, then how will you ever act? Sonia says hello from beautiful Barbados, all y'all. Right? See? I just dropped something there for you to polarize you. Yes, baby cakes. Yes, baby cakes. So today, my beautiful friends, practice the art of self polarization. And you notice you don't have to force yourself to do it. But now, allegedly, there's this part of the brain, I forget what it is called. For people who do not follow through, right? This part of the brain shrinks. But for those who do the thing that they must do the thing that must be done, it grows. And when it grows, you become more powerful. That's, I honestly forget the part of the brain. I don't remember the name. It's a beautiful name, but I don't remember it. I just remember because it moved me so much. I said, wait a minute. You mean that when I get up in the morning and I say to myself, listen, this needs to be done. We're practicing today. And I inspire myself to practice and I follow through with that practice. I stimulate a part of my brain that reflects it. Oh, that sounds like the law of correspondence to me. As within, so without. You must see the evidence of what you hold on the inside. And I had a good giggle at that one. I said, huh. And I said to myself, but won't he do it? Right? Because it's like everywhere we turn, there's the confirmation that if we would but apply the knowledge that we learn, we would change. If we would apply the knowledge that we learn, we would change. And not just a itty bitty change, we would change in a most spectacular way. Right? So learn how to self polarize. How do you do it? Recognize what you want, what state that is, and now give yourself completely to it. The same way you would give yourself to your most diligent lover, the one you just want to be around. Well, want to be around yourself that much. And it is not coming from a place of conceit or arrogance. It is unconditional love. Meaning, I don't have to tell you, do this and I'll give you that. Remember the lecture we read last night where they told her in her vision, just release this thing of imagination creates reality and we'll give you $1,000,000. Just, just let that go. And this is why we have sayings, every man has his price. How high or how low are you willing to be polarized? That is what it means. But you notice that's from the outside, right? Now, do the same thing to yourself. What is it that you value so much about yourself that you're willing to stand 10 toes down on it? Well, to answer that question, you've got to know who and what you are and what you want to become. So that every day when you get up, it doesn't matter what it looks like on the outside, you don't waver. You don't waver from who and what it is you say. This is what I stand on. And you love it so much. Some people say, oh, well, I'd die for you. How about you live, eh? Be fired up for the thing and live for that. Wait, don't let me polarize my chicken too much, because he's being real sweet right now. Oh, yes, you are, little handsome. I know. Mommy will remain calm this morning. I want you to see that for yourselves. You see how worthy and worthwhile you are? That when, if you just take a moment to look in the mirror and go, wait. You mean I'm valuable? Well, let me see. Treat it like you lost your keys. And you got to find those keys and you say, show me where those keys are. And an image of your keys, that favorite part of your keychain, comes into your mind's eye. Yeah, your remote viewing. So, what is that thing? Well, show me that about myself. Let me see it. Who are you asking? Well, you're not asking me. You're asking you. And you all know what happens when you ask. You're answered. But that thing has to drive you, that passion to say, wait, I am? Really? Oh, I want to see this. I want to see this. Show me. And you be like Jacob and you hold on to that angel. You don't let him leave you. And you get up every day and you hold fast to that. See, now you are polarized. But I didn't polarize you. You polarized yourself. That teaches you also how to form your own mental images so that you are the one to see in your mind's eye who and what you want to become. Instead of me telling you or somebody else from the outside telling you what you should be. I trust today that this makes sense to you. Self-polarize. Yes, shea butter. Be your own farmer, cultivating the garden of your own mind, being intentional about what you want to reap in your life. Ooh, somebody dropped some confetti in the chat. That was lit. That's what it is. So that when you hear something from the outside going on, you're not saying, what? Whose side are you on? Right? Yes, Ali, it has to light you up to move you to action. That's what it has. And that's your power. Shea butter. I couldn't have said that even better. Because exactly when it comes from the outside, it makes you dependent on someone else, impregnating your own mind. We call it a dopamine hit, where you constantly have to be fired up. It's dopamine. Listen, you have to see the evidence. So chemically, your body has to respond. Some of us will do anything to get that fix. You see the law of correspondence? You see the law of cause and effect at work? And we think it's just dopamine? No, people, it is law. We keep seeking the next high. Listen, we keep seeking the next high instead of what? Polarizing ourselves. When you polarize yourself, okay, it does not wear off. Let me say that a little slower. When you self-polarize, that hit does not wear off. It will have its natural ebb and flow. But you will notice it does not plummet and leave you scratching and shaking in the corner. Oh, I need to fix it. I need to fix. It doesn't do that to you. It's a slow release. Which one would you prefer? We've got dietitians and nutritionists telling us, don't spike your glucose levels so quickly. Why? Because the loss of power is in the crash and having to pick yourself up. But the stability is where your power comes from. So if you can stabilize yourself, which means you self-polarize. Why and how? With the thing that you love. It has your attention. It will power you up. It does not take your energy from you, but it feeds you. It sustains you. Well, I trust that this makes a little bit of sense to you this morning. That's why there's 8, 10, 13 of you here. Right? For all intents and purposes, I have nothing to tell you. I have nothing with which to polarize you. Not a thing. So why would somebody come to hear it? Do you see the difference between the two things? I get exactly what I am. When I say in the mornings, whatever this message is I have to share, the ones who want to hear it, they'll come. Because they're not the ones who are moved by a flash in the pan. They're the ones who are steady and deliberate. They're the ones who will apply. I want you to pay attention to that. Look at how many content creators there are. And they always have to come up with something new to move the audience. This is why they burn out. Because they're not steady within they're within their own selves. They themselves are always seeking the next trend. I don't want to figure out the next trend. I want that when I share what I share with you, that you apply it and you sit there in awe and you say, well, god dang nabbit, I just did that. I did that. Wait, that was a fluke. Let me do it again. And you do it again and you say, no, wait, I did it? No, no. Let me see, third time's a charm. And you practice and you polarize and you change your life one more time. You have no choice now to admit that you are that powerful within yourself. And so what do? You get up and you do it again. And you do it again because you are so fired up. You are so impassioned. You are so in love with what you have just done. But it's not a flash in the pan. It's a wait a minute. So you're trying to tell me that this thing that used to bother me for 30 odd years, I can fix it? And you get up and you fix it and you're like, you start to do the crazy laugh and you're like, nah, that wasn't me. Nah, that's a coincidence. And you say, oh, let me do it again. And you do it again. And again. And again. And you watch your life transform before your eyes. And you will notice how you'll take a break and you say, okay, wait, let me rest for a minute. This is just too good. Let me bask in the afterglow of this. And you take a break. But you don't lose your essence. You are still sustained by all of the beautiful things you've just done in your own life. Do you see the difference? Just pay attention for the difference. And you will learn much. about yourself. You will recognize that when you get up in the morning, you will want to spend that time in the silent space, and you will be driven to apply. You will be driven to turn your water into the sweetest tasting wine without becoming inebriated by it. I trust that makes sense to you this morning. I trust that it does. Let me pop in the chat here. Ali says, oh my God. Right? Let's take a brief moment, shall we, to welcome everyone into the space today. V224 info, hey. Driving T, hey. I see you guys on Twitter this morning. It's so brilliant to see you all. It is. You know I love you. Thank you for being here. Who's here? YouTube and Facebook. Asanya, darling. Jeff, A Not. You're the ones who've made yourselves known in the chat. It's brilliant to see you this morning. Even A Not shouted out itty bitty this morning. Yeah, a little bit. You got your shout out too. Oh Lord. I just told him he got his shout out. He did his shake out so he can holler at us. Relax. You're good. You're good. You're good. Snooze. Snooze. Snooze that one for mommy. So we can play the ball. Who's on fan base today? Ali, L, Flo Smiles, Oracle Treehouse, Marquise, Shea Butter. Miss Deborah. It is so beautiful to see you all here today.
I have a question. My chat is not working.
Talk to us.
What do you do? Because I'm not used to like all good stuff or seeing the good stuff that's happening to me. What do you do when you have those thoughts of, oh my God, when is all this going to just blow up in my face?
Is that a good blow up in your face or a bad blow up in your face?
No, a bad one. Like, I'm like, too much good stuff is happening. Like, I'm thinking, and I don't want it to have those thoughts.
Oh, you're one of them. That's a beautiful question. You see, that's natural to think that way. But when you catch it, ask yourself, because that's what you're doing, right? If you're asking yourself, well, what if the other shoe drops? That's what you're naturally doing. So you're doing what's in your nature. But when you see it, catch it, and ask yourself, wait a minute. I could just as easily ask, what would it be like if the good continued? You see, we have been programmed to be afraid. Oh, well, if too many good things are happening, it's only a matter of time. That's from the outside. That's what we've heard our whole lives. That's what we were taught. So to transmute that, catch it. And you say, oh, I see what you are. That's part of the old way of doing things. But here's how we do it now. And you begin to ask yourself, well, what would it be like if beautiful things continued? If the good things continued, what would that be like? And you begin to entertain that. And the more you begin to entertain that question, right? Because if you entertain, well, oh my God, the other shoe, if you entertain that 30 times a day, entertain, what would it be like if the good things happened 60 times? The key is you're starting a new habit. Habitually, we've been taught, well, what about that? But that could go wrong. This could, we've been taught to do that. So learn a new way, which is, what would it be like if the good continued? How would I feel to just live a good life? I'm entitled to a good life. I shouldn't have to fret about, oh, the dark times are coming. No. And anything that occurs Answer me this, Flo Smiles. Anything that occurs, do you not know how to revise? You do.
Yes, I do. What you just explained is what I have been doing. So I guess I'm on the right track.
But of course you are, because that's your power. Think about it. For the people who entertain the doom and the gloom, they recreate it over and over every day out of habit, out of, listen to the word, force of habit. What does that simple phrase tell you? It tells you that the habit you practice is the thing that will force you to act. You have to fulfill the habit. So practice a habit that you won't mind submitting to, which is the good thing. Yes? That's what we do. Oh, God, I love that question. That was beautiful. Absolutely beautiful. See? Ah, Lord have mercy. Beautiful question. Absolutely. Always remember your power and to walk in it. We have the power to change anything. Remember last night's lecture, the potter's house? If you're dealing with a piece that you're shaping, whatever that experience is in your life, and it's just not quite what you want, let it down, reshape it, revise it, meaning this is not what I wanted to experience, but what would I like to experience instead? Begin to see it and feel it in your mind's eye. And now you have reshaped what you're dealing with. And you see, it is the love. The love of what? You can change your life? Oh, shoot. Listen, if that doesn't stir up love in you, unconditional love, because it tells you it doesn't matter what the conditions are, you can change it. You gotta love that part. You're so tickled by it, you're like, yes, I can change. And that's what keeps you focused. That's what keeps you impassioned. That you don't have to remain as you are. You can observe where and what you are and simply apply the law. Well, what would it be like if I were the man or the woman I wanted to be? That is the question we ask ourselves. And once you ask that question, something will come to mind. You'll answer it. And then what are you seeing? Experience in imagination what you would experience in reality if you were the man or the woman you wanted to be. Why? Because if you don't assume that you can be the man or the woman you want to be, well, then you will remain the man or the woman that you are. What does it cost you to assume?
You know what, Angela. I've been over here really getting this, teaching this rise, and one thing I took from it, I was thinking about shock value.
Yes.
And how salacious titles shock you into believing, well, to value as something that has no intrinsic value over your life. Yes. So with the same method, we can create visualizations that can shock us into a state.
Yes. That's why Neville Goddard, Marquise, that's why he said, think big. Bigger than something you wouldn't have thought of before. It has, listen, you see, I like the word that you use, shocked you. You polarized yourself in a state.
Can you say that again? Sorry.
Mark, you want Marquise to say it again? Marquise, go ahead. Yeah, go ahead, Marquise.
Okay. So basically, what I was saying is that salacious titles create what's called shock value. So they shock you into valuing something that truly has no intrinsic value over your life. With the same method, you could think of a visualization that is so big it will shock you into a state.
Exactly. It's funny that you say, and we're talking about polarity this morning. And who should show up? The master of polarity himself, Adonis. That's a good thing, by the way. You know what I'm saying? If you've ever seen any of his stuff, you'll understand what I mean. It pulled.
Exactly. Master of salacious titles. And,
Yes.
and salacious. He's just salacious himself. So
Mm-hmm.
shocking you into that, that intrinsic value. That's what's up.
As within, so without. You are compelled to act according to the state that you reside in. You see, that's what's so beautiful. When you begin to recognize the law at work. But that's what you've got to be able to do for yourself. You've got to be able to move the self. And when you move the self, again, it does not exhaust you, but it fuels you. It energizes you. Right? That's what it does. It is because we're self-powering. We are self-powering. That's what's so beautiful about us. And we power ourselves by the way we think of ourselves, what we feed ourselves on a daily basis within our own minds. Who do you say that I am? That's what we do every day. And so that is what will either give you life or take it from you. So be wise. Be wise when you catch those thoughts. And listen, sometimes we've been practicing them so much, right? Those particular thoughts. We don't see them. You become blind to them because they're now autopilot. They're just running in the background. But if you pay attention, you must always manifest the contents of your own mind. And the way to do that is to observe yourself so you see. I'll give you this example. Like I told these guys a little while back. If you deal with anything in shipping, you have 100 boxes. You want to open every box right now to figure out what's in there? No, not yet. So what do? There's a little tiny paper. Some call it a packing slip. It is a manifest. Okay? It's a manifest. It is a documentation of all of the things contained within each box. Now, if you're the shipper receiver and you have to open each box, you're going to check everything against the list. Why would you do such a thing? Because you want to see if you have everything. Are you missing something? Did you line up? Are you 100%? Without that manifest being there, how would you know? You have to see the contents. So now our behaviors are the list. Our behaviors are the list contained within. There are many components to us, many pieces inside of us. And so when you look at each behavior, it'll tell you, oh, yeah, I'm dealing with that. Yeah, got that. There's the insecurity. Yeah, there's abandonment. Yeah, there's rejection. Yeah. Yeah. You can see what you're dealing with. Now that you can see what you're dealing with, what are you going to do with it? Now you can do something with it. This is why you have to manifest every day, all day, so that you can see the contents of what you carry around with you on a daily basis. So a manifestation is not, the latest fad. It is a way of being, because it is the only way to be. You must see, because the law of correspondence cannot be broken. As within, so without. They will know you by your fruit. So that's why you take inventory of your attitudes and your behaviors. That's why you do it. You don't do it for the benefit of someone else. Whose package is it? Yours. But now where it comes in, because that package is yours, you want to give the best gift, don't you? That's why if you take stock of who and what you are, you can give the best every time. So if you give the best, oh shoot, you're getting the best. And it's a win-win for everybody. But if you don't know the contents of your own mind, you will settle for anything. Because if you don't see that there's that insecurity there where you don't want to be abandoned, if you can see that thing there in your inventory, now you can predict the behavior. You're going to people please. Why? Because you don't want to be left. You want them to like you. But do you like you? Is that something you want to walk around with? Or do you want to change it? Ah, when you recognize it, you say, whoa, whoa, wait a minute. I can't be abandoned. I'm always with myself. I'm always with myself. I'm never alone. And when someone, think about it, when someone left you, why would they leave you? You know that thing in Friends where they said, oh, it's not you, it's me? Then it's you. No, no. We come or we go based upon the state, the mental state that we are in. I have no control over your mental state. Therefore, I have no control over whether you come or you go. That's on you. Ooh. Okay, snooze one more time, big boy. Snooze one more time for mommy. Come on. You got it in you. Come on. Oh, snooze one more time for mommy. Yeah. Good boy. You can do it. You can do it. You can do it. Good boy. Right? So, you're the one that determines whether you come or go because of your mental state. So how, if George decides to leave, that's on George. That's George's mental state. His mental state is his responsibility. Your mental state is yours. So did George abandon you? Or did George act according to the state that he's in? But if you act according to the fear of being left, you will remain with anybody to your own detriment. That's what I'm saying to you on this lovely Thursday. Yes, Joyce. That's exactly what it does. Self-reflection within. Yes, now you can. Who as within, so without. Yes, Marquise, overthinking drains. Because you're constantly. Think about that for a moment. Overthinking. Think about it for a moment, shall we? Because that's what we do. We think. Such is the nature of the mind, is to think. Why would one overthink? Well, that depends on the state you're in. It depends on the state that you're in. Think about it. Oh, but what if I can't? Oh, but you see, when you are creating something different, you're not creating by way of um, do you think it's possible or do you deserve it? That's not why you're creating something. You're creating it because you want to create it. You want to change something in your life. And you must know, as long as you plant the seed, you're going to have to bring that harvest in. That's not speculation. That's pure, cold, hard gardening fact 101. Yes, big boy, you're doing so good. That's gardening 101. So,
101.
yes, Don, it is. So that when you plant the seed in your mind, what seed is that? You know what? I am good enough. I can change. What do I want to become? And you begin now to entertain what it is you want to become. Listen, the moment you begin to entertain the good that you can become, or the moment you entertain the bad that you can become, you put yourself in that state. And when you put yourself in that state, the longer you remain in that state, well, then you have to act according to the state. You are by force of habit now. The habit is what will move you to act. So if you're going to make a habit, listen, make it a good one. That's why. I trust today that this makes a little bit of sense. I trust that it makes a little bit of sense to you, so that when you go through this day, take inventory, take stock, and whatever it is that you see in yourself, don't judge it when you see it. Oh my God, I'm such a loser. Stop it. No, don't do that. You look at it and you go, I got the power to change anything I want about myself. Why? Because I am the potter and I am also the clay. I can mold and shape me into anything I want to become. So the thing that you've got right now in your hands that you say is not good enough, mold it and shape it, rework it. Why? What did we learn last night from last night's lecture? Do not discard yourself. Look at how much work you've already put into it. Why throw it away? Reshape it. It's already soft and pliable, so just reshape it. And remember, we are always soft and pliable. Where? Mentally. We are soft and pliable mentally. Because that is what we are molding and shaping and reshaping every day. The way we think about ourselves. That's what you're doing. And that's what you have the power to do. So don't judge yourself and go, oh my God, why me? If you notice that there's something that makes you say, why did I do that again? That's your hidden habit. So what's a habit? A habit is a thought, a word, or an action that you've done the same way every time. And now you just do it on autopilot. So how do you remake another one? Choose a new behavior that you will do the same way every time until it becomes autopilot. So you see, all that is required of you is to choose and to persist in your choice. Persist in the exercising of your choice until it becomes autopilot. And voila, you have changed. But you see, we're not turned on enough to persist. So only you can turn you on. Hello, because you know what you like. So find it and stimulate it. And keep stimulating it until you become it. That's what you do. So if that means you got to read a little bit more, set out that schedule and say, okay, the same time every day I'm doing this. Because why? You've already seen it in your mind's eye and it has moved you to act. That's why you do it. But, okay. Let me get the book. Ooh, he couldn't hold that for any longer. Listen, he reached the peak this morning. I only got him to hold it twice. Okay. Okay, big boy. Okay.
People used to hate me, Angela, because that was my ringtone. I'm a country dude, so when I hear that noise, man, it used to motivate me. Because during my hustling days, I'd be sleepy and tired, and when I hear that, I know it's time to get up. See, I can talk to him. I'm from the country. I got him started now. It's all. I can put that thing on that name.
Oh, Lord, Don, this is why I love you. You leave a little bit alone. Okay. Yes, a little bit.
You're trying to challenge me now.
Listen, let me go out into the living room and leave my rooster. Okay, big boy. Okay. I'll be right back, okay? Okay, itty bitty. I'm coming right back, okay? You just. Yes, Jesus. Yes, hallelujah.
All right, you got it.
So, this beautiful morning, let us go forth. I'm going to play the bowl, and, you get your dose of bird song. Listen, he sat there for as long as he could. He was such a good boy this morning. Really, he did real good. Whew, he did real good. So when I play the bowl this morning, or the recording of the bowl, begin to take some inventory. But you're not just taking inventory for the sake of taking inventory. You're taking inventory, you're looking at your life and you're examining it, and you are allowing yourself now to be stirred up by the fact and the passion that, wait, I can change. I can change my life, and here's how I'm going to do it. I don't like this thing. I'm going to reshape it into this thing. What? Let me see. Can I see it in my mind's eye? Begin to see it in your mind's eye. And it's going to stimulate you. It's going to move your body to act. Allow it to do that for you. Just allow it. Allow yourself to see what it is you don't like so that you can reshape it into what you do like, and allow the passion that says to you, you got your life in the palm of your hands and you can mold it and shape it. Let that be the fire and the passion that moves you on a daily basis. Let us get the bowl. And of course, your bird song will continue until he decides he's done. All right. Adonis. Countdown initiated. 5, 4, 3, 2. Hey, driving. Thank you for being here on Twitter, and I will see you tonight, 10:45 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. I do believe tonight's lecture is... commune with yourself. Commune with yourself is tonight's lecture. Oh, have mercy. Much love to you. Much love to you, Twitter. Twitter is closed. YouTube and Facebook, thank you so very much for being here. Thank you so very much. And remember to pre-order your Hermetic Oracle cards. Also, remember to slide into my DMs regarding September 2024 for the Barbados retreat. 9 spaces are already gone. So, snooze, you lose. So let me know. Slide into my DMs and let me know if you'd like to be part of that retreat. Is there anything else I want to tell you? I will close. Let's see. I will go until March the 15th for the Hermetic Oracle cards. If we don't reach the 1,000 mark, I will refund people. Let's not get there. Let's sell out all. There's 980 remaining. So let's get that done. I'll do another marathon. So YouTube and Facebook, I will see you tonight, 10:45 p.m. Commune with yourself is the lecture. Much love to you all.